the ICE officer shooting this woman in Minnesota who
Yay.
tried running him over. It's
No,
just
she
a
didn't.
perfect description of this whole entire conflict that we just talked about so far in the video. It's
Play the
actually
video.
such an open and shut case. It's
Play
so
the
obviously
video.
justified by the
No,
cops
it's
that
not.
this hysterical reaction to it.
It's actually literally the opposite of that. It is so obviously unjustified. It's crazy that they're trying to defend this. Watch, roll
reveals
the
everything
video.
you need to know about the people trying to tear our country completely apart. So let's just state the facts plainly. A federal law enforcement
let's do
officer
that.
who is enforcing our country's immigration law was threatened with deadly force. A car is not a protest sign. It's not somebody just running at you and tackling you. It is a 2-ton weapon.
Yeah,
If I-
no shit, but she wasn't trying to run him over. She was trying to leave. And there was no chance she was going to hit him. He was he was out of the way when he shot her.
run someone over with a car,
He
they
was.
can probably fucking die. Chances are they would. Therefore, it is a deadly weapon. It's not the same as a big old football
Yeah,
player,
no
even if he's like
shit.
an NFL professional. He's completely
Nobody is saying that cars are not dangerous. Nobody is saying that.
jacked out of his mind. It's not the same thing as that. I don't really need to explain that. You know, if you have a problem with cops deporting people, then this isn't the channel for you. Just click off before you start getting mad or whatever. I don't want.
Nah, I'm gonna keep watching. I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not mad. Because when you do get racist with it, which you do, I'm glad you can admit that. I mainly just think it's funny. Sometimes it does make me a little upset when you say especially racist things. But actually, so far, you haven't really done that, Jimmy, okay? You haven't been too racist. I've been watching other Groypers, and they are significantly more racist than you. But I don't know, prove me wrong. Welcome back to the J-Star broadcast, everybody. Welcome back. It's a beautiful day here in America. Every day is a wonderful day with this government. It truly is. Every day is a blessing.
Him or whatever.
Alright, actually, I don't want to wear these. I do have earbuds. I'm thinking about wearing earbuds on stream. So that I can, so that way I can wear hats. I can also wear hats while I'm streaming. I would like that. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. Okay, we're going with Jimmy Talks.
So I posted on X the other day. I'm just getting tired of the third worldists who just hate Israel because they think they are white or something, and they're not. They're not white like Europeans. These people, they're typically leftists. The only thing we have in common with them as right-wingers, as the dissident right anyways, like the America First crowd, is that we don't like Israel. That's it, right? The alliance, or so-called people thinking of this alliance, between certain segments of the anti-Zionist left and nationalist-minded Americans was always temporary. It was just a matter of convenience, built on a shared enemy.
It's not that they're white, bro. It's that they're Western, okay? They are white, by the way. Like their skin, most Israelis, their skin is white. Okay, that's like a lot of them. But anyway, nobody says that because nobody fucking cares about that except for you. And also, according to Israel itself, there are two groups that people are classified into, ethnically speaking, in Israel, and that is the Jews and the Arabs. Okay, those are the two groups that they designate for themselves. Okay, and anyway, that, like I said, that just has nothing to do with whiteness, okay, at all.
And not shared principles. So the fact that this is even surprising people, it's really not too surprising at the end of the day that these leftists just absolutely hate America. I mean, the only thing we have in common with them, yet again, is that we don't want Israel to control us. And why is that? Why do they hate Israel?
The only thing that you care about with Israel is that it's the Jews. Okay, that's the problem. Leftists have a nuanced understanding of what Israel is, how it came about, and why. and what we can do about it, and you guys are just like, it's the Jews, it's the Jews.
And really, their hatred for Israel often comes from a anti-Western, anti-colonial ideology. It just sees white Western civilization as the primary villain of world history. But yet again, Israel isn't.
It is in recent history anyway, within the last like couple hundred years. Yeah, we are the bad guy. We're the bad guys. Wow, crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
Right? So that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, these people don't distinguish between an
Losing
American
my
patriot
mind.
who loves his country and a global Zionist. To them, we're both part of the same oppressive, air quotes, white system that they seek to get rid of. They have to dismantle us. So, like, for quite some time, we had seen the people on the streets that were screaming about Palestine.
I don't think they're the same. I don't think they're the same at all. Like, Israel is doing a genocide, okay, and America has committed atrocities, sure, and we've certainly facilitated this genocide on Israel's part. But, you know, it's not like we're comparing apples to oranges, which is fine. You can compare apples and oranges, but, like, it's not the same thing, okay? Nobody's saying it's the same thing. Nobody's saying it's the same fucking thing. Obviously, like, people in Israel are way more radicalized, way more primed for, like, this Nazi way of thinking than Americans are. Okay, they had right to rape protest in Israel. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. People got together and they were like, yeah, we should be able to, like, actually rape Palestinians. That is a disgusting... the society that does that is deeply, deeply sick. It is rotten. It's disgusting.
Denouncing Israel, and for a little bit, some people thought we were on the same team. I still thought, you know, these people were libtards. I posted a short. It was when you criticize Israel and some free Palestine person comes up to you and it's like, nope, stay away from me. Because typically these are these anti-colonial leftist kinds of people. I caught a lot of smoke for that video in the comments, and it's like, hey, I'm just being consistent here. But anyways, they hate the Netanyahu government just as much as we do. We hate the Israel First lobby that sells out American interests a lot, though. They don't really seem to care about that too much. It seems like a perfect match.
What? They don't care about it? What are you talking about, man? Yeah, we do.
YWOI Onzo FPDDGDRH 8798 just followed.
Thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, bro, we just care about Israel. We definitely don't care about all of the money that is being poured into supporting Israel, all the money that is being given to our politicians to support Israel. Liberals do not care about this. They do not care. Because they hate America. They hate America. Like, this shit makes no sense, man. This is such an obvious straw man. I don't even know how your dumb fuck audience falls for it. I really don't. Like, this is so far from reality. I don't even know what to say. Oh, you know, leftists, they don't care about the AIPAC. They don't care about the AIPAC. Are you sure about that? Are you sure?
The truth is, as we move into 2026, we need to drop all this shit. These people are not our allies. They are not America first. They are anti-white, and their goal is not to save America. They don't care about America. They hate Israel. That's it. This is not just a minor disagreement either. This is just a fundamental question of who we are as a people and what we're fighting for. So for a very long time, we've allowed them to frame the conversation. A lot of people still think that politics is simply Republican versus Democrat, or namely, if they look past that, they'll think it's just left versus right, which is only true to a very small extent. It's really not, really. You can make an argument that it's not true. It's just a battle between those who want to preserve the historic American nation, which was built by Europeans on the foundation of Western civilization, and those who want to see it dismantled and replaced.
So you mean left versus right? So you mean tradition versus progress? So that is what it is. Okay.
Actually, just that simple. The so-called anti-Zionist from the third world, and
well, let me tell you what traditional America is like. Okay, traditional America supports Israel unconditionally. Supports Israel, helps Israel form in the first place as a nation state. Okay, we like aid and abet this process. That's what happened. That's traditional America for you. So then the question is, do you want to go back to that? Do you want to go back to supporting Israel? Because you still can. You could do a Nick Fuentes. You could pull a Nick Fuentes. I mean, that's probably what you'll do anyway. Because you guys have no spine. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about any of this. You never cared about Israel. You just pretend to because the Jews. Because it is a legitimate vector of attack. Zionism. Okay, it is like attacking Zionism is valid. Okay, and it can easily be distorted into attacking Jewish people, which is convenient for your narrative, which is convenient for right-wing people who are extremely racist and anti-Semitic and online all the time.
Useful idiots on the white left fall squarely into the latter category. They are not cheering for a different version of America. They are cheering for the end of America. Just think about the sheer insanity of their position. We saw the left.
No, I do want a different America. I don't want... There are things about America...
Robsy Guzbiriru 6537 just followed.
Thank you, Robert. I don't want the dissolution of America, because there are things about America I like. Specifically, freedom of speech. I've talked about this before. I love freedom of speech. Most other countries don't got it. Okay, they don't have it codified into their, any of their documents, let alone a constitution if they're a republic. But, like, no other country has this. I love freedom of speech. I believe in freedom of speech. I think that there have been some violations of the First Amendment in this country. But by and large, people are allowed to say what they want, and that's good. We should keep allowing people to do that. Okay? That's why I don't want to destroy America. I don't want to tear it down. America is going to tear itself apart if we don't change it. Okay, that's it. And that's why my advocacy revolves around improving the material conditions of working people. Working people deserve more money. Rich people got too much money. They got too much. Poor people need more money.
Have to openly celebrate when Luigi Mangione shot somebody, and when Charlie Kirk, a moderate, got shot in the neck, and for when Kyle Rittenhouse...
Moderate. He's not a moderate. He's not a fucking moderate. And also, are you really about to... He had a wife and children. How dare you? That guy was a mass murderer. Okay, I'm not even saying he should have been assassinated like that. That's fucked up. That's majorly fucked up. Nobody deserves to die like that. But, like, I'm not going to feel bad for him. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to finger wag people who are like, yeah, Luigi. The guy was a mass murderer. Okay. Secondly, Charlie Kirk is not a moderate. He's not a fucking moderate. He said prowling blacks go around looking for white people to attack, or whatever. Happening all over America. That's a fact! Okay, what I just said is basically verbatim a direct quote from Charlie Kirk. I think I got a few of the words mixed up, but basically that's what he said. Okay, that is a disgusting racist lie. And, once again, yet another person that I abhor, but I don't think he should have been killed like that. I don't think he should have been killed at all, but certainly not in the way that he was. But anyway, this is why I say, because what this person is doing here, this is liberal shit, okay? This is lib shit. To be like, oh no, how dare you? Like, you're gonna tone police us? Really? You're gonna tone police us? Oh, you have to be more respectful to fucking Charlie Kirk. Like, why? Why? He was an evil racist, white supremacist. He was. I mean this very matter-of-factly. This isn't... You can call it an appeal to emotion or whatever, all you want. It's just like, that's what he was, okay? Words have meaning. Words have meaning. He was a racist white supremacist, a raving lunatic, and not a moderate at all. Okay? I think moderates are cool. I would say, like you could say Asmongold is a moderate. I would somewhat disagree with you, okay? But he's certainly, like moderate leaning, I think. He's like a middle right person. And lately he's been ramping it up, okay? So how much longer can you call him a moderate? I don't know. Only time will tell. But anyway, like that's somewhat understandable when I hear people say that. I'll still, tell them, I might argue with them a little bit, like, oh, but he like said this about Trump, and he defends Trump all the time, and yada yada. Okay, but my point is like, you can argue that Asmongold is a moderate, and I somewhat have to be like, okay, well, he is a little bit of a moderate. Okay, but Charlie Kirk, moderate? Are you fucking high?
who at the time was like basically a
The
kid,
fuck are you
had to
talking
defend
about?
himself from 3 or 4 felons.
Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse, no, he wasn't just some poor kid. Oh no, oh, he just so happened to find himself in a bad situation. No, Kyle Rittenhouse planned to murder these people. Okay, at the Black Lives Matter protest. And then he went to the Black Lives Matter protest the next day, and he murdered them with a gun. That's murder.
Glorify violence when it fits their narrative of an anti-colonial struggle or whatever they like to say. But when Americans act against a hostile foreign leader like Maduro, suddenly it's a little bit too far. So why the contradiction?
What? Huh? Wait.
Narrative of an anti-colonial struggle or 3 or 4 felons. They glorify violence when it fits their narrative of an anti-colonial struggle or whatever they like to say. But when Americans act against a hostile foreign leader like Maduro, suddenly...
Okay. So if America kidnapped Benjamin Netanyahu and arrested him and charged him, if we arrested him and charged him, I would think that is awesome. Yeah. Okay. But Benjamin Netanyahu has committed a genocide against the indigenous population in Israel. Okay, that's what he did. So, yeah, he deserves it. Maduro didn't do any of that shit. He just, like, is a dictator and nationalized the oil industry.
CCSSKLRSRYGHBKLXES 1145 just followed.
Thank you. Thank you for the follow, bro. Anyway. Of course Benjamin Netanyahu should be arrested for this. Maduro, I'm not going to say he's, like, a good guy. He's not a bad guy. Like, no, but Maduro has done terrible things. Okay, he was a dictator, not so much anymore. Okay, but he was. I don't really think that a country being a dictatorship is enough reason for us to kidnap their leader. Okay, I don't think that's a good idea. And anyway, that wasn't the fucking reason we did it anyway. We didn't do it for some moral good. We did it for the oil. That's why they did it. They did it for the fucking oil. So, I'm all for limited moralistic intervention. Okay? I like in extreme circumstances, like say if a foreign leader is committing a genocide, maybe we should do something about that because that's evil. That's terrible. Okay, that's it.
It's a little bit too far. So why the contradiction then? Because
Not
their
a
loyalty
contradiction.
isn't to justice or even to a coherent ideology. Their loyalty is to chaos. Their guiding principle is opposition to the West, to whiteness, to what they call colonial power. I mean, what are we doing here? They see Israel as an outpost of this Western power that they supposedly think.
Yeah, we just want chaos because and that's why we're against whiteness, because whiteness is such a stable. It is such a stable idea. Whiteness. Yeah, famously, it's so stable, never changes. Yeah, Germans, Italians. Yeah, don't look too much into that. Don't look too much into that.
This cultural Marxism was created by you-know-who in the first place. It's really all just a big game. But anyways, they hate all of it. They hate America, they hate white people, they don't really care. So they see your hometown and your family and your heritage, they just act the same exact way. They don't like any of it. It's very third world coded. Let's just be honest here, right? Basically, their hatred for Israel is not the same as our criticism of it. We don't like Israel's influence over our foreign policy because we are American nationalists. We want our government to put American citizens first.
We don't like that either. We also want American citizens to be first, of course. The problem is that the citizens aren't the first priority of the government. The rich people are the first priority of the government. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem, man.
First, these third worldist communist scumbags who follow, ironically, the ideology that was created by them to distract people with, communism, cultural Marxism, all started in the Frankfurt School. Who was pushing all of that? And now these people believe it, but they hate Israel. It's just, they don't know a fucking thing about what they're freaking talking about. But anyways, yeah, in their eyes, white people are the oppressor class, and everyone else is a victim. Israel, to them, is just a particularly very strong example of white settler colonialism. Whatever the hell that even means. These terms are all fake and stupid.
What?
But
I can tell. No, they're not fake. No, they're not fake. Okay. White meaning white people did it. Okay. In this case. Okay. I know. White people. You just think white people are evil. Okay. White people didn't do every evil thing, man. Okay. They didn't. Okay. But anyway, white settler colonialism. White person. Okay. White settler. Settler. That means a person that like settles somewhere. Okay. They move and then they settle. They're a settler. Colonialism. White settler colonialism. Colonialism
your
being...
LPZSXK 3617 just followed.
Colonialism being the formation of a colony.
KQMPCPCRPUIJHRNN 5742 just followed.
Thank you for the follow. I may have to turn off text-to-speech if I keep getting new followers. Okay. But I do appreciate the follow, though. Very much. Thank you to both of you. Anyway, these words have meaning, man. It's not such a bad thing to maybe learn what they mean. Because when you say that they mean nothing, that makes you look really stupid. Which might not matter much to your audience. But if you want to, like, improve your rhetoric, you know, it doesn't matter much to your existing audience. Okay, but if you want to improve your rhetoric, grow your channel, you need to learn what these words mean. Okay, you can't just call them like drivel and meaningless when they have meanings that we can agree on.
Again, they just don't care. They don't like you anyways. They just hate Israel. They would happily see your neighborhood become a minority white enclave and your history erased from textbooks and your children taught to be ashamed of their ancestry. They argue for this openly. This is the critical point that so many people miss when it comes to the third worldism. Even if we could snap our fingers tomorrow and end all of Israel's influence in Washington, their hatred for us would not diminish one bit. In fact, it might intensify because now they can just focus on you. They have their full, undivided attention to the primary target, which is you. And it's always been you, the white American.
Yeah, I think that Israelis only like us, Americans in America, as long as they can get something from us. We give them aid. Okay, this is obvious. Like, there is a lopsided relationship here. We're giving them a lot. They are giving us nothing. That's how it works. Okay, Americans are frustrated by this. They get free healthcare. What do we get from them? Intelligence. Intelligence that helps us secure more oil for our oil barons, our oligarchs, our billionaires. Yay. Yay, America. See, this is... I can't even remember what point I was trying to make. What was you saying?
They have their full, undivided attention to the primary target, which is you. And it's always been you, the white American, the conservative, the person who believes in borders, the person who believes in tradition, the person who has the very natural and normal thoughts of a future for their own people. I mean, if you're going against the grain here and you're saying, I don't care about the survival of my people, it doesn't even matter what race you are. If you say anything like that, that's just not natural. That just doesn't happen. To say that is out of the natural order. So actually, wanting the survival...
Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that. I actually want more for my people. I want more. I think that there is money in this country. I think we can get the money. And what I was saying just a second ago is that, I think that Israelis would kind of turn on us at the drop of a pen if we stop sending them what they need. And that probably won't ever happen, but, you know.
Continuity of people is very normal, actually. But yeah, they don't see a distinction between a good white person and a bad Zionist. To them, you are still the problem. So at the end of the day, though, the demographic...
No, we do. We do see a difference. Okay. Because a Zionist is a person that believes in Zionism. Okay, they want the Israel project to succeed. That's what a Zionist is. That's not all white people. That's not even most white people. And definitely not anymore. So...
Decline of white Americans, it's not an accident. Everybody is very aware of this by now. Or if they're not, then they're just in denial or they're lying to you about it. This is just policy outcome, though. So this is the result of decades of engineered immigration laws and cultural propaganda and an economic system that punishes family formation for native white Americans while rewarding it for newcomers. So don't forget that the people marching alongside the anti-Israel protesters overwhelmingly support all of these policies as well. They cheer for open borders. They call you a racist for wanting to preserve your community's majority. They are the foot soldiers for the Great Replacement. They are useful idiots, whether they fully understand it, and 99.9% of them don't, or not. So, as we leave 2025 behind, we're still fresh into 2026. We must officially leave third worldism behind with it. It's just a failed strategy. Our focus has to be singular and unapologetic as white right-wingers in our own country. The defense and restoration of the American nation. Nothing else. It's just that simple. This means we have to be smart about who we're allies with, and we have to understand that our fight is not just against a political party or whatever, but it's actually an incredibly corrosive ideology that has infected everything in the American public. The first and foremost one is Zionism, which is the complete and utter control of everything pro-Israel, and the second one is cultural Marxism. I don't like either of these things. I've noticed quickly that these people who will try and like pick apart my arguments here, 99% of them are from some foreign country. They're not even American, or they just moved here. It's some shit like that. They don't.
I would like to hear what is cultural Marxism? What the fuck is it? Okay, because I know what it is. I want to hear what you think it is. Okay, for those of you that don't know, cultural Marxism is a term or phrase that was made up, I want to say in like 2016 or so, by right-wingers to discredit left-wing people, left-wing voices. It's cultural Marxism. They're evil communists.
Don't want to integrate.
That
This is
sort
new
of
normal for these new arrivals. They don't really want to integrate. They want to act like their old country is better. Take our money and send it back. That's all it is. This is why I advocate so heavily for building our own institutions and our own media, our own communities. We have to have the courage to say, without flinching, that we want a future for our children and grandchildren in a country that still looks and feels like the America we love. And you know what, too? I don't even, hate these people at the end of the day. Like, I'm getting pretty fucking sick of them and fed up, don't get me wrong. But it's actually, for me, it's not even about, you hate them, whatever. Like I said, not really. It's all just business to me, right? This is actually about love for me. I love my people and my culture and my homeland so much that y'all are making me start fucking hating you. But anyways, that's not really where I originate from, and that's just what I'm trying to say. The other side, though, which is the Zionists and their ideology and these cultural Marxists, they operate on hatred. They have a burning pathological hatred for everything that we are. We just can't partner with that. We have to recognize it, and you have to call it out, and you have to defeat it. It's just that simple. The real white niggas, the ones who
No, okay. Okay, man. I don't hate you. I want you to have free health care. I want you to have accessible medical care, just like how I want it for everyone. Every American. And every person on Earth, ideally. I think you deserve more money for your work, for your labor. I think we all do. I think rich people have been robbing us blind for decades. Because we stopped paying attention because, the bread and the circus.
CPWCFZEUJODN 6295 just followed.
Like, basically, following World War II, life got really good for Americans. Okay? And so they became docile. And then they didn't notice when rich people started robbing us. Okay? And dragging us into stupid fucking wars that don't matter.
understand what's at stake are indeed going to have to go hard.
And the Korean War.
That's it.
And the Cambodian
campaign.
campaign.
Road, but it's the only one that leads to a future worth having. That's
and
it,
the
guys.
Iraq
All
War.
right, now let's move on. This one just happened today. This is the ICE officer shooting this woman in Minnesota who
Yay.
tried running him over. It's
No,
just
she
a
didn't.
perfect description of this whole entire conflict that we just talked about so far in the video. It's
Play the
actually
video.
such an open and shut case. It's
Play
so
the
obviously
video.
justified by the
No,
cops
it's
that
not.
this hysterical reaction to it.
It's actually literally the opposite of that. It is so obviously unjustified. It's crazy that they're trying to defend this. Watch, roll
reveals
the
everything
video.
you need to know about the people trying to tear our country completely apart. So let's just state the facts plainly. A federal
Yeah,
law enforcement
let's do
officer
that.
who is enforcing our country's immigration law was threatened with deadly force. A car is not a protest sign. It's not somebody just running at you and tackling you. It is a 2-ton weapon.
Yeah,
If I-
no shit, but she wasn't trying to run him over. She was trying to leave. And there was no chance she was going to hit him. He was already he was out of the way when he shot her.
run someone over with a car,
He
they
was.
can probably fucking die. Chances are they would. Therefore, it is a deadly weapon. It's not the same as a big old football
Yeah,
player,
no
even if he's like
shit.
an NFL professional. He's completely
Nobody is saying that cars are not dangerous. Nobody is saying that.
jacked out of his mind. It's not the same thing as that. I don't really need to explain that. You know, if you have a problem with cops deporting people, then this isn't the channel for you. Just click off before you start getting mad or whatever. I don't want.
Nah, I'm gonna keep watching. I'm not mad. Okay, I'm not mad. Because when you do get racist with it, which you do, I'm glad you can admit that. I mainly just think it's funny. Sometimes it does make me a little upset when you say especially racist things. But actually, so far, you haven't really done that, Jimmy, okay? You haven't been too racist. I've been watching other Groypers, and they are significantly more racist than you. But I don't know. Prove me wrong.
I want you to listen to this, because I have nothing in common or anything to share with you anyways. But anyways, when someone intentionally drives a car at another person, that is just attempted murder. So the officer using his gun to stop the threat, which was a murderer, is not only just justified, it's actually his duty.
No, not a murderer. Not a murderer. A random woman that was just trying to leave the situation. I wonder why Jimmy hasn't played the video yet. I wonder why he has to hype it up so much. I wonder why he has to add all this context to the situation before he plays the video. I wonder.
You know, this is not a complex moral dilemma. This is just the basic social contract, and that's that the state has a monopoly on the legitimate. Don't get me wrong, legitimate. That's a very big key word here. This was legitimate use of force to protect itself and its agents from violence. That's it. You try to kill a ICE agent, you know, you're probably going to get shot for it.
No, but she didn't try to kill him. And if you try to say, oh, well, maybe he thought that she was trying to kill him, which is the next step in this argument.
HRCVZRBELAKSWZSPOA 8772 just followed.
There's a lot of you guys with those kind of usernames, huh? Interesting. Anyway, the next step in this argument is to say that the ICE officer felt like his life was in danger, therefore he was justified in killing her, even though his life wasn't in danger at all. But if you watch the video, it becomes very obvious that there is no reason that person had to believe that his life was in danger. Okay? He shot her completely unjustified. Completely. It is so insane that people are trying to defend this. Go watch the video. Okay? It's hard to watch, don't get me wrong. Like, a person gets murdered in it, but you know, it's just like, watch it. See the truth.
If you attempt to kill any police officer, you are accepting the risk that you might be killed. But you wouldn't know that if you were listening to the mayor of Minneapolis and nothing else, and like some people actually do. This is just complete morons. They can vote, by the way. Or anyways, these activists that are screaming on social media, their reaction is just completely different. It's one that's built on bullshit. Basically, it's a mountain of lies. They stand for nothing. They just have this pathological hatred for the West, again, as we've already said earlier. They immediately frame this as a story of like some martyr. They're absolutely heroic and just a lovely person. They were an angel. They were cut down by the brutal racist system. Just so stupid. They talked about the Somali daycare fraud stuff as if it were just like not a big deal. You know, your tax dollars are being stolen, not really a big deal though, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's just a minor victimless crime. Don't worry about it.
No, it's not that it's not a big deal. It's that they're doing something about it already and have been for many years. That's not downplaying. That is just reality. Okay, what is it at this point? Like 84 arrests? Dozen convictions? Or more than that, even. Like, people are sitting in jail because of this. Because they defrauded the government. Rightly so. Okay, but anyway. Not that has anything to do with
They're blowing this up. It's not that bad. They ignored the fact here that a woman behind the wheel made this conscious choice to escalate and use her vehicle as a battering ram.
No, she didn't consciously escalate. She was trying to leave the situation. And she was doing it peacefully, without hurting anybody. And nobody was going to get hurt if they had just not shot her.
It's the cop.
Everybody would have been fine.
Communism and leftism and cultural Marxism, it's just simply not working. Time and time again, if you want to seek out the truth, then you're eventually just going to be a right-winger. And what I mean by this is that it's just revealing their hypocrisy. These are the same people who cosplay as like communist revolutionaries. They will wear these Che Guevara t-shirts and talk about the resistance, bro. Just total Redditors. And they'll always be, by any means necessary, we're going to take it all over, man. They like fantasize about the second American revolution, like the second American communist revolution. But the moment that they get any type of resistance or that the state pushes back, you know, the moment they try to run over a cop with a police car and they get shot for it, they will cry and scream. They'll be like, you can't do that. That's so unfair. You can't do that. It's just the tantrum of a child who has never been told no.
Yeah, well, you can't do that. You can't just shoot someone for no reason. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that, even when you're a cop. Traditionally. Supposedly. Allegedly, you're not supposed. The reality is that cops get away with shit like this all the time. Okay, but they should, you know, ideally they shouldn't. If a cop murders someone unjustifiably, they shouldn't fucking get away with it. And this is no exception. Okay, this person murdered that woman. He should face repercussions for it. That's it. That's it. She wasn't trying to run him over. She was actually trying to not run him over. And you can see that in the video.
It's so ridiculous. If you're, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. They want the thrill of rebellion without the price tag. What the fuck else do we even have to say here? They want to play revolutionary games. They're going to win revolutionary prizes, I guess.
Cosplaying socialist.
The woman who died, by the way, a white lesbian, is perhaps the most tragic figure in all this sad nonsense. Let's just be real here. Respect to the dead people, even if I didn't agree with them. She has a family. She's a person at the end of the day. But she has just been thoroughly brainwashed by every psyop in the book. This is just a bigger third worldism. Again, the third worldism is at play here. She likely spent her life believing that her whiteness made her an inherent oppressor, and that she is bad because she's white, and that the only way she can redeem herself, it's like the liberal version of salvation, is by pushing every single cause that is opposed to her own people and her own race. She died for a community of illegal immigrants that don't give a fuck about her. They do not share her values on sexuality or gender or anything else like that. They don't care about that. They don't even think about her. She died defending a system of immigration that is designed to treat people like her, which are white, as a minority in their own homeland. Then she fell for all the psyops that told her to do all that stuff, and she just went against the grain out of the natural order of things. She's kind of like the globalism's pathetic foot soldiers videos that I put out. She's just a soldier in an army that wants her replaced, and she probably never even knew it. She just said that, hey, these were all conspiracy theories online, what have you. Just another casualty. And also, when I mentioned defending cops, I don't really hate cops. I can understand points of view if they enforce unconstitutional laws and stuff. Obviously, I understand that. That's pretty reasonable and logical. But this immigration stuff, it's pretty hard to not defend the ICE agents, right? But we have on the sidelines the libertarians and the skeptics, who are the ones who will say, well, I don't like illegal immigration either, but do we really need ICE? Because this is actually just a big police state. Let's just be clear, when people say this kind of stuff, that supporting ICE means you're a bootlicker or the police state, these people are not serious. They are at best liberals in disguise, and at worst, they are just a saboteur. They are an active saboteur.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're not a bootlicker for supporting police. No. Yeah, no, you're a free thinker. Yeah, you're a free thinker that just so happens to side with the overwhelming authority. Of course.
There is no functional nation without borders. There are no borders without enforcement. And there is no enforcement without a dedicated agency to carry it out. To argue against the very existence of ICE is to argue for the dissolution of the United States as a sovereign country. It is to side with the open borders left, whether they admit it or not. So, when they accuse you of supporting a boot-on-the-neck police state for defending ICE, they're just using the left's framing. They are accepting the premise that the American government...
Yeah, no, bro, they have to put cameras on every street corner. They have to have face identifying, bro. It's to keep us safe, bro. It's to keep us safe, bro. It's to keep our country together, brother. Come on. I'm not bootlicking. Come on, we gotta have the authoritarianism.
And lives within its own
just territory. A little bit of authoritarianism, brother.
Proposition, by the way. Every single successful civilization in human history has maintained control over its borders. I know we need to go back to first grade for a second here, because apparently we got to explain simple fucking ideas. But the idea that America alone should be an exception to defending its borders, and that we should become a mere economic zone, or
and in order to do this, you have to have a fucking gun-ho, dumb fuck, non-trained police force go around and harass brown people, asking them for their documents because they are brown. Yeah, that's so protecting us, bro. We're so bad. America is so bad.
Insanity. This leads to, again, the third worldification or Brazilification of America. It just means that there's going to be political corruption, more so than there already is now, and chronic violence everywhere. It's just going to be a massive ghetto. So the choice in front of us, just to kind of wrap this video up, the choice in front of us is quite simple. There's two options. There's a button on the left and there's a button on the right. No pun intended with these left and right. Actually, there isn't. But we either embrace a policy of total remigration, which is a systematic, lawful process of removing those who have no right to be here, and we completely reverse the demographic revolution that has been imposed upon us by the Zionists.
Remigration just means deportations. Just say deportations.
Or we just accept the Zionist Brazilification of America. Which one do you choose? Which way, Western man? There is no middle ground. We can't just dilly-dally with a security bill or whatever. Or
I choose... Me personally, J-Star, I choose radical wealth redistribution. That's just me personally, though. That's what I think. Okay, that's my choice.
Posturing from Trump saying we're just going to do all these mass deportations and then they never happen. How many people are actually being deported? I don't know. Not as much as needs to be. That's the same thing again with libtards. They're like, I hate Trump because he's extreme. And I'm like, well, I hate Trump because he's not extreme enough. And also he's controlled by Israel. But yeah, the problem with remigration is not the flow of them coming in. I believe that's mostly been stopped, actually. Or it's slowed down significantly anyways. You can't completely stop that kind of stuff. It's like trying to outlaw alcohol, But anyways, the millions who are already here illegally are the ones that need to go, and we also need to start reversing these legal migrants. That's really the more pressing issue, is the legal migrants. And we also need to find a way to stop the influence of these NGOs and other political lobbying groups who advocate for open borders. It's really just a suicidal policy. The future is it's going to be crazy. 2026 is going to be a wild year. It's only been a week, and we're already this far in. But yeah, this is all going to have to be very necessary. This obstacle is a very necessary course correction. But the obstacle here that we have to overcome in this course correction is the same people that we already identified in the beginning of this video, is these hostile elites that control our institutions, Zionists, and they're an elite whose loyalty is to international finance, again, Zionists, and a foreign nation, again, Zionist. And as long as they are in power and controlling America, the mass importation of a new bunch of people from whatever random country you decide to come from will continue.
No, man, no, you're wrong. It's not the Zionists that are importing all the immigrants. It's rich people. Okay? See, your narrative is that the Jews, the Zionists, okay, Jews, Zionists, same thing to you. Okay? They are importing all the brown people. And they're doing this to, fuck with us or replace us. They are replacing us. Okay? That's your narrative. My narrative is that rich people are importing immigrants, okay, and they are doing this because immigrants work for cheap. Okay? So solving the Zionism problem it's not gonna solve this problem. It's not. Okay, if you want less immigrants for some reason, okay, because you're a racist person, which is the reason, okay, then we gotta put these rich people in check, bro. That's what we gotta do. Okay, I'm real sorry. You can't, cause here's the thing, this is your bootlicking, your incessant bootlicking is also incompatible with my ideology. Okay, the ideology that rich people are doing all of this and we need to do radical wealth redistribution. Okay, and the reason why is because the police are really just an arm of rich people. Okay, they're an enforcement mechanism for the rich people. The police, they maintain the class hierarchy. Okay, they keep rich people rich and poor people poor. That's how it works. So you're gonna have to stop that too. Okay.
This is the tool that they use to maintain their control. They have no allegiance to the American people. So this whole Minnesota shooting thing, the third worldism that has been going crazy since the Venezuela thing, it's just a snapshot for the coming conflict. And it's a reminder that the state still has a pulse and that there are still men with guns who are willing to do their jobs. We need to demand that ICE do more, actually. And we also have to reject these false sympathies for people who decide to aggressively break the law and then it gets enforced onto them and violently resisting and trying to run over cops. What is wrong with you people? What country do I live in? This is some third world, communist, cultural, Marxist, Zionist country. I'm not falling for these psyops, okay? And you shouldn't either. We have to just utterly dismiss these arguments from these people trying to tear us apart. They want you gone at the end of the day. They just want you gone. You still can't team up with them just because they hate Israel, okay? It's just that simple. I've said that before too. Hey Jimmy, you're trying to divide people. This guy's a Fed. I'm like, do you not know how any of this works? They want the white people gone first. That's what the Zionists want. They want them gone because then they can control everybody else easier. It's that simple. I don't want to be gone, but you have fallen for their tricks.
Yeah, I'm not a Fed. I just don't want us to work together to dismantle the Zionist project. Even if you're not a Fed, that is definitely a Fed thing to do.
Cultural Marxism, and you want me gone. That's actually what's going on here. But these people are too stupid to see that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to get rid of Zionism first anyway, so, like, even if you think that us leftists just want to, like, murder all the white people, we just want to genocide all the white people. We want to do a reverse genocide, okay, on the white people. Well, okay, well, we still got to get rid of the Zionism first to do that, right? So you can just deal with us later. Okay, like, let's do an Avengers-style team-up now. Okay, and then later on, we can start fighting each other again.
But anyways,
yay.
That's all from me today, guys. I wanted to touch up on the third worldism that has been invading the right wing. I don't really know what's going on here. I am a right-wing white guy. I'm a dissident right-wing white guy.
I think that what is happening is people are disillusioned, and they are aware of the overwhelming strength of our government, and they are looking to make allies in places where you wouldn't expect. Okay? And one thing that unifies all of us is that we hate Zionism. We hate Israel. Okay, so that's why. That's why, man. Okay, anyway. Let's see if there's another video on the